Last question from the fans. What's the toughest race you've ever been a part of?
Singapore 2011. It was like my fourth or fifth race in Formula One because I got thrown in halfway through the season and I did not anticipate how hot and physical Singapore was, and it was a 2-hour race. It ran so it was like the longest race I'd ever done, the hottest, the most physical, and I broke my wing, I think, on lap 1, so I was already like a lap down in a car that was always going to end probably 4 or 5 laps down. So I wasn't in the race from the start, so I didn't really have anything to race for, and physically I was just spent. So that was one of those days, though, that you need where it's like never again. So from that day forward, I always trained hard, but I focused more on like heat training and specific like Singapore and like Malaysia training. And I was like, I never want to feel this way again in a race car. So that one was misery. Yeah. I was hoping the engine was just going to go boom.
She just
Yeah.
held the revs.
Just come on, just let me hear like a noise I don't want to hear. But
I do wonder in those situations. I would just be like, guys, are you sure? Let's save the car. Come on, we need this. We need this for the end of the
But you do
season.
hear
guys. Come
people
on.
the problem
say
was
that.
I just got into F1 though, so
Yeah,
they're like,
right,
no, every
yeah,
lap
you're not
counts.
in a
You
position
need
to
the
do that.
experience.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need this.
What are your memories of that first year? 'Cause, I mean, that car was, I remember you coming in, Silverstone was your first race,
Yeah.
wasn't it, that year? I mean, that car was not good, like for anyone who's not familiar with the 2011 season. So how was that? You kind of come in, like you get your dream of being a Formula 1 driver, but there's not much you can do to get off the back row of the grid.
Yeah, it was, in a way, it was like maybe a blessing in disguise where because we were at the back, like the attention was kind of off me. So I wasn't like Lewis that jumped straight into McLaren in a winning car. So there was not really too much other than Red Bull watching me and kicking my butt. There wasn't really too many other people expecting much from me. So from that point of view, it was okay. But yeah, the car was tough and like getting laps, like blue flags. I remember Silverstone, I was losing like 5 seconds every blue flag. And they're like, no, you only need to lose about 1.5 seconds. So I ended up 4 laps down or something. And it was a bit of a disaster. But I remember seeing the car for the first time at Silverstone. And I was like looking at it and I know nothing about aerodynamics. But I was trying to convince myself that the car actually looked okay. I was like, probably just needs a good driver behind it. And it's probably not that bad. Anyways, yeah. Tried to convince myself.
I love that mindset. That's awesome.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content plus live streaming, make sure to subscribe to ESPN Player.